Welcome to Feel Good Friday, where we try to share stories to add value to everyday life. I've talked on some rather serious topics. Today's topic is going to be absolutely not serious. There's no huge message here, but it's something that I love. The theme is the joy of learning. I just love learning things, and not for any great position or anything of that, just for the sheer sake of knowledge and to share it. I can look back to a defining moment in my life, and it was in grade 9. I was in social studies, and we were on the topic of Canada in the Americas. Now, if that doesn't cure insomnia, I don't know what was. But there was this odd little quote. It said that in South America, roast beef was as every bit a rarity and luxury as fricasseed hummingbird tongue is in North America. When I read that, I said, I'm going to store that away because there's going to come some time in my life when I can use that piece of knowledge. And this is 50 plus years later. I can look you in the eye and say, I have never used that. That was totally useless. But a pattern of storing away things and hoping I could use it was established. One of my stories that I really like was I read something in a paper. It was about a flatulence tax in New Zealand. I'm not sure why, if there's too many sheep or what, but a bunch of farmers were sending sheep droppings to the government. And so I learned that. I thought that was kind of novel. Well, lo and behold, my wife and I were in Las Vegas, and we had booked a trip to go to the Hoover Dam. We were picked up in a stretch limo and stopped at another hotel. There were 3 people from New Zealand. You know what I did? I brought up the topic of the flatulence tax. They were dumbfounded that in the United States they had met Canadians who knew something about the New Zealand flatulence tax. I ended up, for the next 10 minutes before we got to our stop, learning so much from New Zealand, because when you talk to other people about their country, they open up so willingly. And I can honestly say that I have kept doing this over and over all my life. Just last 2 weeks, I'm going to share 2 quick examples. I watched a video about Ferdinand Magellan, the person who is credited for circumnavigating the globe. The Straits of Magellan are named after him. The 2 sort of satellites of the Milky Way are called the Magellan Clouds. But he was killed in the Philippines. I don't know why he got credit for circumnavigating the globe, because he didn't make it. But he was killed by a guy by the name of Lapu-Lapu. He's an absolute hero in the Philippines. When I read that, I thought, well, I know a guy from work who's from the Philippines. And in the morning, I brought up the topic. His face lit up. He really felt good about being recognized. And on. We had a great little morning. He was talking about the city of Lapu-Lapu and how he was a warrior and how he's a legend in the Philippines. Once again, I just sat back and listened. This Wednesday night, I was a Toastmaster. At Toastmasters, there's a theme, and the theme was favorite sports. Well, I knew we have a fairly diverse group, and we had somebody from Malaysia. So I picked as a favorite sport Sepak Takraw, the national sport of Malaysia. I even had some pictures up. I showed how it's kind of like volleyball and soccer, where you try and kick things over the... But if you would have saw the look on her face, even though it was only on Zoom, it was priceless. Here's my message. Go out and learn something, maybe about a country or something from somebody that may be new in your life, and share that with them. Because there's one thing I've learned in life. The more you share, the more they feel you care. Have a great week.